Hi, in this video we will learn how to use the Transcriber app for segmenting and transcribing audio clips. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the transcriber. First thing you need to do is to select an audio file. I'm going to select this demo file. Once the audio is loaded up, we can start segmenting it, and actually it's quite easy. All you need to do is to press the enter or return button on your keyboard to insert a segment boundary whenever you think it's the right moment. Well, it's not as easy as it sounds, but let's go ahead and give it a try. We use the tab button on our keyboard to play and pause the audio. So I'm gonna give this a try now.
We need a pop-up blocker on our web browser.
As you can see, all I need to do is to play the audio and press the enter button whenever I think there should be a segment boundary. Here, looking at the audio display here, the waveform display, you can expect when there will be speech in the audio, and you can adjust yourself accordingly. For example, when I was listening to the audio, I inserted a segment boundary here because I saw that there will be a speech right after that, and I inserted another segment boundary here because I know that for a little while there won't be any speech. But it's okay. Many times the segment boundaries that you insert in the first pass will not be in the exact position that you want them to be. It's quite easy to move them, to remove them. So don't worry about that. Just listen to the audio, look at the waveform, and whenever you feel like there will be new speech, there should be a segment boundary, press the enter button. Then we will go ahead and do the transcription, and while doing the transcription, we will notice some of those segment boundaries are not exactly at the correct position. So we will then correct those boundaries when we get to them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep segmenting this audio a little bit more. So
What kind of a culture event? Has there been a big concert somewhere, or some divas traveling, or someone's...
Death of Bob Hope.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Death of Bob
that's
Hope,
big.
that's good.
Oh, that is big.
Yeah.
as you can see here, I have inserted many other segment boundaries into those places that I think to be good positions, but it might turn out they are not exactly good positions. So we're going to listen to the audio. We are going to listen to each and every segment while we are transcribing it, and we will have the option to fix them. So I'm going to go ahead to the beginning. Now, before starting transcription, I want to change this playback mode to stop before next segment boundary, so that whenever I press the tab button, only the current segment will be played, and the cursor will stop at the end of that segment without going into the next segment, like in the case of stop at next segment boundary, so that I can play the current segment many times until I'm done with the transcription. And let me show you how this thing works. So if I press the tab button, only the current segment will be played, and the cursor will stay at the end of the current segment. And if I press tab again,
We need a pop-up blocker on our web
Yeah.
browser.
the next segment will be played. Now we are at the end of the second segment, and let's say we want to listen to this segment one more time. So I'm going to press Shift Tab.
We need a pop-up blocker on our web
Yeah.
browser.
See, it's quite easy to repeat the current segment and then move on to the next segment. So We know that there is no speech in the first segment. We will start transcribing from here. I'm going to use M to denote the male speaker here. Let's listen to it again.
We need a pop-up blocker on our web
Yeah.
browser.
So we're going to input the transcription. Let's listen to it again.
We need a pop-up blocker on our web
Yeah.
browser.
So we can use the arrow keys, left and right arrow keys, to move between different segments. If you select a segment from here, you can use your arrow keys to move between segments. Let's cancel this for the moment. Okay, this is selected now, and all right. We can use up and down key buttons and left and right key buttons to move between different segments. So we are done with this segment, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Press tab again.
What kind of a culture event?
Now I'm not quite happy with this segment because there are a lot of silence at the beginning and at the end of the utterance. So I want to insert additional segment boundaries here. So I'm going to go ahead and insert another segment boundary here. All I need to do is just point to the right position on the waveform display and then press enter. And here I'm going to put another boundary here. So let's listen to this one. See? Now I move on to the next segment.
What kind of a culture event?
So I'm going to input the transcription. Okay, listen to this. It's empty.
Has there been a big concert somewhere?
So I'm going to continue entering more transcription, and this goes on like that. Let's remove this segment boundary here. So it's really easy to remove the segment boundary. Let's say we are not happy with that. So I'm going to say delete breakpoint. Now these two segments are merged into a single one. Let's listen to that.
Oh yeah, that's big.
Oh, that is big.
Yeah.
That can be a single segment. If I want, I can insert another segment boundary here, but I'm happy with it the way it is.
Death of Bob Hope.
That's also a good segment. Let's say, let's look at this one.
Has there been a big concert somewhere, or some divas traveling, or someone's...
That one also looks like a good segment. But if at any time you are not happy with your segments, then you can move them. You can, let's say we want to move the segment boundary. All I need to do is to right click on it and then just push it, just move it to whatever position you want it to be and then leave it. That's it. So doing the segmentation as well as the transcription using the Transcriber app is quite easy. I hope you will enjoy it as well. Goodbye.